Welcome back, everyone. Welcome back, everybody. This is 4-1 Solstice 25, Winter Solstice 8. And today, I'm kind of romantic. I mean, just look at that fabulous mustache. Yeah. And the heart-shaped, eye patch. Kinda cliche, I know. I just realized some of my skin is not showing at the moment because I turned it off for some reason. Let's see. There we are. There's the rest of my skin. Okay. So today, I'm going to show you something I've been working on here. That's almost an issue to me, but I don't particularly care. So this is a server hub. By who, you might ask? But, well, by me, of course. Do I normally show other people's server hubs on my channel? I mean, for the most part, this channel is pretty dedicated to building. So yeah, I made a server hub. More specifically, I made a minigame server hub. And that is a very different story for from survival or something else. So this is for the Storm server. I believe I mentioned about this last time that they were going to go the minigame server route for a little while to try to build up the community before starting back up a survival thing again, because they just weren't getting very much action last time, and it was kind of poor for the server in general as a whole, so they had to cut back on that, and ultimately it's going the minigame server route for a little while at least. Of course, I think they wanted to also bring back the creative server, but I don't fully know the details of that. But, yeah. Not only did I make a hub for them, I also made parkour for them. Like, here's some of what the parkour is. Now this jump you generally want to be on that block for. And this is probably one of the hardest jumps in the entire thing. Because half the time you'll run into that or the wall. Like the other staff have actually tested these jumps in that. And yeah, it's been pretty cool. So this is going to be the definite hub for it. I had a lot of fun putting all this together. I especially enjoyed putting the parkour together. Like, it goes from the very base and even like the very bottom-ish of the entire hub all the way to what's essentially the tallest rock. Not necessarily the tallest point, but the tallest rock. Let's see, what is the tallest point? These are the tallest point. There's 4 tallest point. But yeah, the very end to all the jumping is basically my lovely romantic head here. Specifically that mustache. Oh, baby. But anyway, yeah, that's basically what's been going on. I was told to only have like 2 portals situated for us at this time being, but eventually we're probably gonna need more. as we get more and more like minigames and stuff going. For anyone wondering how I was doing like the camera effect, by all means you could just move the mouse slowly or something, but there is a better way, people. And I actually have it bound to a key. Oops. So there is a thing in Minecraft where it's basically a cinematic camera, and you can enable and disable it. I have it bound to my minus key by my numpad. So I can just and stuff. Pretty fun, if I do say so myself. Okay, turn that off. But yeah, let's talk about the build here. So the Storm server, I've been there for a little while. I like to hang out there. Half the people there I like, so it's like, why not? But yeah, I'm sure you can see majority of the path quite clearly. And it's actually through at least 60% of the map, which is cool to me. Like, it can be kind of difficult. In fact, I would say the actual two most difficult areas are down there and maybe over here a bit, as well as right around here. After that, it's actually pretty easy. Besides that, it's quite easy, yes. It's just a matter of not falling off of fences and blocks and just regular jumps. Like, let me just show you some of it. Like, the way I was setting this up, I didn't want it to be impossible. So I gave a lot of relaxation in the middle of harder parts and such. And then just parts where you just basically gotta practice being careful, which is something you're normally doing in the middle of parkour. So it's perfectly acceptable to me. And then you get these rougher jumps here, which was a pretty good idea, I think. Makes it a little nerve-wracking, I would say, but ultimately not actually very difficult if you keep calm and know your stuff. I have a few animals lying around. Only 2 of them, though, are actually named, this being one of them. I'll show you his name in a sec. Like, go around this. Failed at an easiest jump ever for fences. So while you're down here, you could probably like jump. I figure players could like jump up and see what the pig's name is. And as you can see, he is the storm-resistant pig. Yeah, I tried to make sure there was basically no shortcuts inside of all of this. And I wanted to give the players all kinds of interesting locations to get to. Like right on top of a portal, for example. Like, that's pretty cool, if you ask me. And I did try to give the players something to kind of go back on should they mess up by chance. Oh. And that's an example of what not to do in the middle of a parkour jump. And this is probably one of the second scariest jumps, actually. It's just from this one to there. But I did leave like a safety tree for trying it. which is, I think, a necessary evil to me. I say evil because I don't like giving people too much. Like, I think they need to be able to do a little stress work, but... Oh. I gotta tell you, a lot of these jumps I haven't really tried in a single run, personally. As much as I just basically just try to make sure it's physically doable. I think, where did I... Oh, there it is. As you can see, it's very doable to get on top. It is quite an interesting one. This will be a thing up pretty soon. I have to actually check on how that's about. Yeah, for the most part, a lot of the jumps aren't particularly difficult. Honestly, I'd say it's actually quite a rewarding thing to go through, just for the sights even. Like, I would say just about wherever you take the jumping to, you'll always end up in a cool looking spot. Like, you'll always see something pretty neat. Like down here, you're gonna see this below that you're not normally gonna see from up above, which is part of the thing, basically. Now, this cannot be done, not by a distance, but by invisible walls. Because what kind of mean map maker would I be if I didn't at least do a few invisible walls? I would be ashamed of myself. I mean, really. I would be a horrible person. And if you have like a farther render distance, you will be able to see like a landscape far below us, which I think is also kind of a rewarding thing, because it adds to the depth and feeling to the rest of the jumping puzzle. And yeah, I've made all of these jumps before. So yeah, there is quite an interesting thing to this, and it was a lot of fun for me to work on, and I'm hoping it'll be a lot of fun for other people to go through. A lot of people have who've tested it out have actually enjoyed it. So that's already a good sign. But yeah, a lot of this stuff is very decorative, but also very useful in travel, which is what I like in how this turned out. Like, it's not too awkward or anything. It's basically perfect. If anything I would change, I would probably add a bit more random rubble around and about, just for pure decorative use. But besides that, I'd say it's basically good. Like, I try to incorporate the idea that it's floating landmass and stuff. But yeah, thank you so much for watching. This is Foreign Solstice 25, Winter Solstice 8, and have a good day. Bye-bye.